Looks like you guys really like the most recent breakdown of the official Melbourne Regional Dragon Ball Super Fusion World event, with all the deck lists and breakdowns. So today we're taking a look at another recent regional, the Niagara Falls Regionals, and looking at the top 16 winning leaders. Shout out to Eggman's website and their event tracker for these deck lists. And with that, here's the leaders breakdown usage chart. We have one Broly, one Android 17, which is honestly a shocker, one Beerus, two starter deck Vegetas, two Universe 7 Gokus, and two yellow Vegetas, as well as 7 Friezas. And we'll be looking at the best placing deck lists that went 5-1 or better for each leader, starting with the best placing Universe 7 Goku in 9th place. And right off the bat, when you look at this deck, you see a ton of Self-Awakeners. It's standard for this, right? You have your Hit, your 3-drop Son Goku, your Krillin, even your other Android 17. But I think the thing that stands out to me the most here is that it's kind of a different approach than the standard aggro approach, mainly because you have your Android 17 here, right? That can help boost your leader and also becomes a giant 30k boss for the cost of 3 energy, right? Imagine you have all 4 on the field. Well, then your Son Goku leader becomes a 40k swing, but the likelihood of that happening is pretty insane. Not to rule it out entirely. Now, some other cards that I think are pretty cool here is this Android 18 that can help you search for that 17, you know, to boost your leader, or even a Self-Awakener. Or you can go for another Self-Awakening Krillin, or the other card that brings out this entire deck strategy, the 4-drop Krillin that can damage reduce up to 20k power when attacking for the turn. Now, it's kind of like the 3-drop, you know, Son Gohan. However, it doesn't Self-Awaken. It's not as strong as that Gohan, but it does reduce way more and provides a ton more combo with 10k combo as opposed to 5k combo. And because of that, I think that's why I really like this hybrid between power-up cards and damage reducing effects in this deck. And that's definitely something I like to see in the format, you know, just new growth and an ever-evolving meta. Can't wait to honestly see the other future topping deck lists for Universe 7 Goku. But now let's go right into our top 8 with the next combatant here, a Broly deck. There was only one entry for Broly, and yeah, look at this. It has a standard, you know, your draw Gokus, your Son Gohans right here, your 2-drop Android 18s, your ramp Vegeta, your Selku. Nothing too crazy here. You have your 4 Brolys, right? But I think the things that really stand out to me for this deck specifically have got to be the 6 double strikers we have. We have 3 double androids, and then we have 3 Son Gohans, who I think I should mention isn't technically a double striker unless you have this in your drop, this in your drop, and I think that's that. One of those cards in your drop, then it becomes a double striker. But either way, it's also a 10k combo, which is kind of nuts. Then another very interesting card that we have is this one right here. We have 2 of them, a 10k combo 7-cost Broly that lets you choose one of your battle cards and then one of your opponents and ramp them to energy. Now, why would this be good? Well, specifically if you're going up against yellow and need a way to remove that pesky SR Vegeta, so that way your big boss can come out in this one too to blow things up on the battlefield without worrying about them being protected. Also got 2 Life Hans, and honestly, I really like this spicy tech for a classic take on the Broly deck. Then we got androids, right? And this is placing 7th place with only 1 entry that is in the top 16, which is honestly kind of nuts with how great androids have been doing. But I think the emergence and dominating willpower of yellow has caused people to kind of stray away, at least for this regionals, in the top 16 to go for androids. I mean, proof is in the numbers, right? Anyway, we have our staples, your 1-drops, your Krillin Searcher. You have a ton of androids to synergize with the lab here, as well as your 4-drop double androids. But I think the thing that really stands out the most here that I think is pretty interesting is if we go here, we have a bunch of life utility cards, right? We have the Senzu Bean that can give us an extra life. So I want to paint a picture for you guys, right? We get the Self-Awaken. We have a ton of energy with all our ramp potential, right, in our deck. And now we're the strongest leader in the entire game, swinging at 30k at 4 life. Now we use up all of our sensu beans. We get to summon all of the cells. And now our life can essentially go all the way back up to 9 life, which is insane. We're actually getting 1 more than what we started with, but that's not all. We also have Cell Jr. who can bring these back, and pretty much you can go all the way up. You have the potential to play this game and go all the way up to 11 life and stay awakened. Like, it's actually pretty insane, right? Now, is that ever gonna happen? I'm sure someone out there is capable of doing that. Now, on a regional level, probably not. But the fact of the matter is, this is a very defensive, bulky, and long-living survivable deck, and that's kind of scary to think about. But now let's go to our 6th place topper right here, and that's Beerus going 5-1. And honestly, like Beerus, look at this. We have our staple Self-Awakeners with all of these cards right here. A ton of damage reducers as well. You know, you can't forget those. And this leader is easily becoming one of the more consistent red leaders that's able to do well in almost any matchup. And that's mainly due to the leader's own ability, right? The ability that can help it reduce 10k power for the turn on any battle card. Like, if it was 5k, I don't honestly think Beerus would be that good, but the fact that it's 10k, it really applies really good pressure on a lot of opposing battle cards, which I love for the leader, and I can't wait to see how set 3 further enhances Beerus. But for now, definitely one of the more consistent leaders, especially after Taku meta, right? But if you guys remember, Beerus was still hanging with Taku like it was nobody's business. But now we're down to the last 2 winning deck lists, and they're both, oh look at that, they're both yellow. First up is Vegeta placing 5th place with 2 entries, but this one is running the infamous Ginyu package, right? Sidebar, I wonder if we're ever getting Pry Troopers in set 3. Anyway, you've got your bunch of Self-Awakeners, which makes awakening your leader like no problem. But you also got a ton of extra cards that you can use defensively and offensively. And the one card that I think is making this Vegeta stand out is absolutely the Bonds of Ginyu Force that you can synergize with, yeah, all of your Ginyu cards, which who would have actually thought had a place outside of a full Ginyu deck. That and the 4-drop Son Gokus and the 2 secret rare golden Friezas make this a very strong mid-range deck, which is why topped and got 5th place. Which brings us to Frieza, who again has 7 entries, right? And 3 of them were actually in top 4. But this is the deck list that went 6-0 and got it all, right? You might notice there's nothing too crazy about this deck, right? You got your Ginyu package right over here. Where is it? You got your Bulma and your Vegeta. You got pretty much all your staples. A couple weird things is like you have 2 of these Ginyu, right? 2 birders, 1 of these guys. It's kind of weird, right? Which is why I decided to look a little bit deeper into this deck list and compare it to all the other different Frieza deck lists. And they vary a bit here and there, you know, just by having a little bit extra copies. But I think the thing that stood out the most was that this deck list right here has the most combo power potential, with 19 cards that provide over 10k combo, with the other decks being around like 16 or 17 having that 10k combo. Factoring that into play, then it doesn't look too weird, and that's probably why we have these 2 birders that provide 10k, and then this blocker that also provides 10k, as well as these other 10k cards, right? In fact, I think it's actually done on purpose, and it obviously worked to the benefit of the player. Definitely a consideration we should all take when creating our decks for official events. But yeah, like I said before, yellow is looking really great into the second half of the meta, and I'm extremely excited to see what future official events bring us in terms of winning deck lists in the new formats. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more quality Dragon Ball Super Fusion World content.